Hello again, and welcome to Money Shift Sim Series. Today, we're in a great place. We're at Watkins Glen in New York, USA. That's our country. That's where we live, right? Joined with me today is Austin as normal, and then we also we fired Jake. It's Chad now. So at least for this week, we'll see if that stays that way. But how are you guys doing?
Good, buddy. Glad to be here.
Yeah, great. Can't complain.
Ready to watch some racing go down. This is one of my favorite tracks. Also one of my favorite car combinations that we've done so far. So should be great.
It is a great setup, I will say. And I will invite everybody right now, if you're interested in joining this, leave a comment down below and we'll reach out to you. We are looking for more people to finish out the rest of this season and next season as well. Haven't quite determined the format, but if you're interested in joining us, be sure to let us know. Before we get this race started, let's take a look at the standings here. After it says How Wheels, not Hot Wheels. So that's a typo. I gotta yell at the graphics person. But Jake Steeg in the lead, followed by secondary Jake, Jesse, me, Austin, Molt Squirrel, Chad, Zeus, Ethan, Armed Alpha, Jared 45, Zach, and Kyle. We are back to full point paying races though, so now we should start seeing those points jump up again after this one. And before we get going, we'll look at the qualifying standings. Jesse takes pole, followed by Jake Steeg, Jake Johansson. Kyle Topman takes fourth. That was an excellent qualifying lap by him. I believe he was even surprised that he was starting fourth when we got to the grid, so that was a nice little deal for him. Austin and myself are in row 3. Chad, you line up alongside Zeus in the back.
Mm-hmm. Right where I belong.
What do you guys... I'm not so sure that's the case anymore. You've definitely been chipping away at us, so...
That's saying it lightly. He's been kicking ass.
I told y'all I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
I absolutely can tell that, so...
Yeah, it's actually been kind of surprising. I've not expected to be quite there yet, just because this is my first time ever doing any of this stuff.
And on that note, I'm curious, what do you think your biggest improvement has been, just, starting the series from where you began to where you are now? What do you think you changed that really helped you?
Being patient.
Sure.
When I first started, it was like, because you don't get the feel of the car, right? So I had to be a little more patient on like braking stuff and like understanding of locking up the tires. Like I didn't know any of that stuff. I was just going.
Right.
And now it's like, now I understand like trying to find my line and like all this different stuff. So it's pretty cool. I love it.
Nice, man. Good to hear it.
All right, well, going into the race here. We're on the backstretch through the bus stop. We have Jake Steeg leading Jesse. Come around, I believe that Jake Johansson behind. I go from 6th up to 4th. Got an excellent start. Got around Kyle and Austin. And then we have Chad and Zeus bringing up the rear right now. But everyone stays pretty close through lap 1 at least.
These are the only 2 R8s right on the track at this time as the 2 front leaders.
Wow, you've forgotten me already, huh?
Oh,
right there.
3, I'm sorry.
Fourth place was me.
Jeez. The rest of the field is GTR. I don't think did we have any Porsches?
We had no Porsches.
Porsche. Sorry.
Porsche.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, what did you guys make of this track?
I love this track. Oh, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Top tier track. Always one of my favorites, honestly. I think it was Jake that was commenting this is his favorite track to run on, right?
Yeah, yes it is. And he had some fancy lines through some places.
Sure did.
That he was definitely showing off. Oh my goodness.
Wow, that just went too wide through the bus stop.
For the lead right there.
That was some moves.
It was probably lucky that they kept it together and neither one of them took it off track there.
Incredible. If I remember right, I think you and I were in practice and I sent you flying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. you sent me hard into the wall and just kept going. Oh, there's Kyle spinning out wide. Actually, I shouldn't necessarily say that was spinning out. I don't know if it was net code or what. I couldn't quite tell from the replay, but he gets me, and then we just have the tiniest little bit of overlap, and I seem to just barely tap his bumper, and that's why he had that wiggle there. He basically had me into the corner, and then I barely clipped him back. So I apologized after the race. I don't know if it was necessarily my fault or if it was a netcode thing or what, but he said it was fine, so he wasn't too mad at me. So we hop back to the car with him, riding 6th place now, right in front of Chad, following Austin and myself.
It's a tight field.
Ooh.
Yep, not great.
And maybe that was why he was okay with it, because that happened later.
Yeah. What do we got up front? Jesse, just leading the pack. He has just been an unstoppable force the last couple races. It's bizarre.
Not too far away, you can see now as we head back to the front of the pack. It's not a terrible distance away from each other, but he did take the position in that bus stop.
Whoa.
We don't have to look at this.
Yeah, who was that? Was it you?
That was me. So I don't remember why that one happens exactly, but I basically overcooked it coming out of there and just clipped the wall, and it did me dirty.
Done did you dirty.
Yeah.
This
Oh, that's
was
right.
Go ahead.
Kyle did say that he had his steering was not straight after his contact, so that's why he's in the pits to get that fixed up.
I feel like that's weird. If I'm not mistaken, this race we did have damage turned off, didn't we?
Yes, but we've encountered this. We encountered this more often with the cross cars.
Yep.
That you could hit a wall and it would still jack up the steering, where you couldn't drive straight. You had to hold the wheel cockeyed to go directly.
Yeah, oddly some outliers in that rule. Apparently if you hit the wall hard enough, it's kind of like all bets are off.
Yeah, it's no damage to a point. Come on.
Yeah. At a certain point, the simulator's just like, no, you screwed up. You deserve something.
Right. Looking good. I think I stayed in like 4th place the entire friggin' race. I don't even know. I don't think I gained or lost anything by the end of this.
Well, you're about 3 seconds back from Jake the Johnson Johansson.
Yep.
And he's about 3 seconds back from the leaders, so... Ooh,
Let's talk about that bus stop. That is a unique part of this track. Did you guys find that too difficult, or was that a pretty easy thing to overcome?
It is iconic.
Well, there's multiple layers to that question, I feel like. Okay, here's the deal. You take it right, it's awesome. You take it wrong, it's horrible. That one took me forever to actually figure out how to not, like, go 2 miles an hour through the whole thing.
Right.
And
go ahead.
we just, relieved you of claiming that you skipped the chicane at Monaco. Finally went back and looked at the tape, and it wasn't you, it was Bullet Squirrel.
That's right.
Or I would make another joke about you missing chicanes.
That's right.
Unfortunately, that doesn't work now. So it's a good thing we looked at that as Austin goes to the inside through the S's and takes 3rd place.
Let's go. Pretty sure I messed up somewhere along this one.
You're just not good at being in front of people.
I get scared, man. I got stage fright. You know, I'm a nervous pisser.
Yeah.
Dude, I get that. My heart starts racing so fast I can't even feel my hands.
Yeah. People don't believe me when I tell them that this is an adrenaline rush that you just can't get matched when it comes to video games. Like it is, I'm sweating, hands are sweaty, my heart's pumping out of my chest. It's just a great experience.
Knees weak.
Yeah.
Arms are heavy. Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah. A real sim shady.
Yeah, that's right. Throwback to one of our beautiful short videos that we've put out.
Well done, Mitchell.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. 110, I think 109 is the fastest we've had on this track so far. What were you laying down there, Chad?
I don't remember.
I know, right? I'm pretty sure I was sitting at about the 111 consistently. I might have dipped into the 110.
It looked like is the yellow a PB? Like when it turns yellow and gives the lap time? Tap time.
Mitchell was.
Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. I think it appears yellow when they've got their best PBs.
Because I think the last one just popped up for me and it was a 110.
Nice. Yeah, fly. Yeah, a lot of technical stuff. I felt like this track, you could carry a lot of speed almost through all of it, especially this corner coming up was a little misleading. Real hard on the brakes, but you could just accelerate full throttle out of that as long as you aimed the car in the right direction.
Yeah, and I think a lot of those corners on this one were like that. It was figuring out which one to brake earlier, which one to brake later, because like they were just so different, which I really enjoyed.
Me too, 1000%. Mitchell, do you know if it appears yellow on the time, is that our PB? Is that a PB?
I need to look at that some more. I don't think yellow is PB. That might just be the lap time, and then green should be. I would assume it'd be your fastest lap, and the purple would be the fastest lap of the session. But I think we were looking at that, and that was not quite accurate, if I'm not mistaken. So, oh, there's the mistake by Austin.
You went mowing.
Yeah. I decided that grass wasn't quite short enough. I had to take care of it myself.
Well, you did it.
Yeah. Did I keep the position? No, I gave up the position, right?
Nope, you're still in third, so that means Johansson must have also made a mistake at some point, and that allows you to keep it.
Convenient timing, Johnson.
You just got too far ahead is what it was, and you wanted to battle someone.
That's right. I get bored.
I will say his black and pink car is quite eye-catching. I don't know that it's quite my style, but it's eye-catching for sure.
Yeah. It's not orange, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, so let's talk about your orange obsession. Is there a reason behind that?
It's been my favorite color my whole life. I don't know. I did a wrap on my current car, and it's a burnt orange.
A burnt orange?
Yeah, it's like a deeper orange, yeah.
And what car is that again?
I drive a Mazda Speed 6.
Nice.
That's why he's Chad Mazda Speed.
I was.
Yeah.
I changed it though.
Zoom.
Yeah, you have your actual name in game now. Is it Corson or how do you say that?
Yeah, just straight up Corson.
Corson, all right.
Yep.
See, that's why I asked, because I would have said Corson.
Yeah. Okay, I get it.
Like we thought the Johansson was Johnson.
Well, yeah, that's just not knowing how to read, though.
That's that's also just fantastic. So.
Right.
And he's fully accepted Jake the Johnson Johansson as his used name now. So.
That's great. On that back straightaway where you guys were coming up to the bus stop, do you remember what braking zone you were braking at?
Coming up to the bus stop?
Yeah, because I think I was trying to push it past 200, and that's where I started getting myself in trouble.
So my braking marker there's a line on the track. And that's what I was judging. You just saw the current car drive over one of those lines that was on the track. That's what I was using as my brake marker.
Oh.
We'll have to see if we can be in car or have a shot of someone going through that section. I can point it out, but that's what I was using because I didn't have a good brake marker on the side that I liked as a good point. So I started using that as my marker, and then it's kind of cool because you cannot see it, not see it, not see it, and then it's there, and you hit the brakes. So it's not one of those deals you can see off in the distance and know how far you are away. So it's look, brake, brake, brake.
It's interesting how everybody just kind of comes up with their own way of doing things.
Yeah, I think there was like a white sign on like the right-hand side somewhere. Mm-hmm. And like right after I would get to that sign, I would start braking. I think is where my brake point was. But
Did you guys just see Steve go through that bus stop? He damn near does a straight line through that.
He has done a ton of races on this circuit, so I think he mostly just knew what to do.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Almost all 4 tires were on the grass. He just right through it.
Well, and so he also did say after this race was over that he knew or had already figured out that there was not track limits right there, so he was not going to get penalized for running through. Oh, who is that? That is Zeus.
What do we got here?
Zeus
See, that's
spins
the line
it
I
around.
kept taking over and over.
Oh no! And then the
That's so
dreaded
unfortunate.
I hate it when that happens.
acceleration in the
Yeah.
grass.
Better off just putzing through it.
Like, I agreed with the V10 noises.
Right there.
Yeah, boom.
Yep,
That's him.
a little bit too much that time, but yeah,
Yeah.
the game did not have that set as a track limits violation,
Wild.
so we needed to address that later on.
I was not doing that. Not unless it was by accident. I may have done it a few times, but not on purpose.
Yeah. Gosh, that hurts putting Zeus all the way back there. Rough. Jesse doing it, passing him.
Yeah, you have a couple mistakes. It's all it takes for these fast guys to catch you. I can't say that I've been, absent from being lapped by these guys, and I'm 4th place in the championship right now.
Right. It's impressive how consistent they can be at that speed.
Yeah. I think that just comes with experience, though.
Yeah. I'm convinced it's the $1,000 steering wheels and stuff.
That probably helps to an extent.
Yeah.
What is your setup, Chad? What do you drive with?
I'm using a Logitech G27 wheel and pedals right now.
Hey, us too.
So
I have the
What is it?
G29,
I'm
but
sorry,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
the G29,
essentially
same thing.
the same
yeah,
setup, just a little bit newer model.
Honestly, I love it. Works pretty damn good, in my opinion. Like,
yeah, it works good. I have an issue, like my hands don't really fit on the steering wheel, so my hands get really sore.
yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
gloves really helped with that, but even like this week, I kind of went hard in racing and tore my hands up.
Really?
Yeah, I got a couple blisters in my shoulders and my arms are all sore. I pretty much
Jesus.
raced all weekend, you guys.
That's great.
Yeah, I upgraded my wheel to a little bit bigger size, which hurts the force feedback. I'd actually, now I've used it a while, I'd say considerably. Sometimes it's,
Yeah.
a little too weak now, but it's so much nicer. I would still have the trade-off of less force feedback for the size of the wheel being larger.
Sure.
And if anyone would like to see how to do that with their own G29, we have an excellent video.
Brought to you by yours truly, Mitchell.
Well, I wasn't going to go that far and toot my own horn like that. The Retro Hobby channel has a bunch of great content on it, and it's not just me. Austin has an entire actual race car series that you can go check out. Along with, we're starting to work on, since it's the off-season and it's cold, building some cars instead of just driving them.
Yep, got a supercharger we're throwing on the Corvette now. It's gonna be great once it's done. I wish I could just wake up and it's completed. You know?
That would be nice.
Yeah.
So far, I've spent like 6 hours just trying to put a pin in the crank, and that's been a nightmare. So,
Oh, goodness.
yeah. All right, what do we got here? So at this point, it looks like the field's real spread out, right? Everyone's just kind of lollygagging through till the end.
Yeah, the only real, and you can see in the mirror right there, is I am tracking down Chad at the moment.
Oh yeah.
We
Nice.
stayed pretty. I think I was about 4 seconds behind for a long time,
Yeah.
and I don't even know where it was. But I figured something out on this track and started gaining and gaining and gaining, and I was catching right there. You see the gap went down considerably. I think you actually made a mistake there that put me right behind you. So all of a sudden I'm within half a second, and I'm coming.
Yeah.
I'm coming for that 5th spot.
And I'm not gonna lie, guys. My entire time I'm racing here, I'm just like thinking in the back of my head, Chad and Mitchell stay the
And here we come out of the corner. Bam.
Ooh. No. Oof.
So I
That's
have
a
2
tough
mistakes, and both from the exact same spot, doing probably the exact same thing.
I'd blame it on the Audi.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that was just I was trying a little bit hard to get a good run down the front stretch and make the pass fast.
Sure.
Because at the time, you can see we're just under 7 minutes to go, and Chad is about 7 seconds back behind Johansson. So I think I also had in my head too, like, that's a mistake away from being able to hop into 4th.
Mm-hmm. True. Just a far away.
Not meant to be, because
Missed it by that much.
I was bad. But I also this was a track that I didn't get hardly any practice on either. We did a test here after the last race, which was the cross cars, and so I think I had I think by the time qualifying started, I probably had less than 20 laps ran on this track with these cars and everything. So that's why I think I had that moment where I kind of flipped a switch and then all of a sudden was catching Chad, is that I'd hit enough laps where I kind of knew what felt fast and what was actually working. So had we gone back here again, I would have liked my finish better, I believe.
That's how I feel about our 240 race. I literally practiced for about maybe 10 laps.
Oh man, that's a rough one to miss out on. This 240s, you'll see next week, is they're a tough pill to swallow, tough horse to ride, tough
Really,
whatever you want to call it. They're very analog, and we also have another issue which held us back. That I'm not going to say it was collusion on anyone's part, but we'll get into that on that video.
Yeah.
Cough, cough, shared setup with no ABS.
I don't know what you guys are
Well,
talking about.
that's not what I was talking about, but Zeus runs it wide, and that is Jake, the Johansson, Jesse, Jake, putting him another lap down. Excellent shot of Chad there.
So did we?
Do you know what lap we're on? 17? Is that right?
Yep. So Jesse has completed 17 laps. Got about just 4 minutes to go. What do you guys think of doing the timed format instead of a specific number of laps? Do you have a preference either way?
I would say the only thing that's kind of on the downside of the timed portion is that we're guessing on fuel consumption for the most part.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you have to see kind of what lap times you're running,
Right.
how many laps the estimate is, and then kind of do math after that.
Yep.
Plus, you don't know, you could do a lap or two more because you go slower throughout the race. A couple seconds a lap, maybe that's enough to add another lap, and so
True.
you have to be a little bit high. You're right. Or if we just stuck it at 20 lap race, you have 22 laps worth of fuel, you're good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably say I'm more on the side of having a set amount of laps, but I honestly don't care. I'll race you.
Yeah.
What about you, Chad?
I don't really have an opinion on it. To be honest, I don't really notice much of a difference either way, personally, because I'm just racing. So when it's done,
You're
it's
just
done.
driving.
Yep. I'm just going until I'm done.
Jeez, Jesse putting down a 108.
Yeah, he really kind of was showing off towards the end there.
Yeah.
19th lap on these tires. I don't remember if we ran. I think we ran mediums. I think softs were not going to be quite enough.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, still 19 laps on a tire, and you're setting probably the fastest lap of the race.
Don't get it. It's wizardry. It's something.
I think
fastest lap for the entire race is a 108.851. So if that wasn't the highest or the fastest lap of the entire session, it's darn close.
I'm pretty sure this one we kind of had a mix of slicks and mediums, actually, if this is the right race I'm thinking of.
I remember there was an argument. I remember at the beginning we were all trying to determine whether or not the softs were going to last through an entire, I don't know, 20 laps or whatever the case. I think at the end, I believe Jesse was even testing the hards at some point.
Yeah, I don't feel like that was necessarily this one. I think that was, if I remember correctly, we did have a long conversation at Bathurst, because that's when we forced the pit stop for the mandatory pit stop that screwed everything up. That entire race session was botched basically from the get-go by myself. But yeah, so that was disappointing, but I don't remember that for this one or not. I feel like, and maybe it comes up in the future, if we have the option to do different sets of tires, whether it'd be worth it to do a soft versus a medium, maybe a soft with a pit stop versus a medium all the way. I'd be really interested if we can figure out a way to make that happen in the future.
See, look at that rearview mirror. Look at that orange back there. Doesn't that just scream, hey, I'm behind you, buddy?
It sure does.
It's my favorite.
Where you belong, Steve.
Topman going a lap down to Jesse here. And yeah, he's just flying. And yep, Chad trying to get around Zeus. And I think there was some conversation going on here, and I was really hoping that there'd be some contact.
But squeezed by without even like a flinch. Just perfect, flawless.
Yep, I believe that's actually, you probably just heard me just off to the side there. I caught up again, but in the end I didn't have any shot again at you, Chad, which was just a sad day.
Not for me.
We had about 2.5 corners worth of a battle, and then I smacked the wall. So.
Yeah, this was one of the first races where I actually felt like I was decently consistent throughout, instead of just constantly taking myself out of the race.
Yeah, which I was really disappointed.
I'm sure it was for you.
And Austin, you have an excellent day today as well.
Yeah, I was having a great time.
I mean, you were 17 and 8 seconds back at this point. So you were within a second per lap of our two championship leaders.
Yeah, it's crazy that a second is like a substantial amount of time difference between the two. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you were, like I said, you're within that. So that's.
Yeah, we're getting there.
Yep. Hopefully, the next time we were around with a, I don't want to call it a spec car, but everyone's running the same vehicle. Race after race, we can get a little bit more consistent as an entire group, and maybe group up a little bit more, have more of a pack and everything.
Not using a 240.
Nope. we're not doing that. It was determined.
That was something of its own.
Cool looking helmet that Jesse has on there as well. I just noticed from the in-car view.
When we watch the 240 review, it is going to be so painful to watch how many mistakes I make.
Oh boy, I haven't even watched the video to see how bad it is, how many backwards cars, and we even have someone that I think got either just straight disconnected or got fed up enough with it that they said to heck with it and logged out for the day. So
yeah,
that's what you can expect next time around, as everyone seems to come finish the race. No one's really at risk of anything. I think the closest finish at this point is I'm about 5 seconds behind Chad here, who just kept it solid. Just lap after lap.
It's the
Consistent
orange.
enough to hold me off. No big mistakes. You had the one wiggle that got me from, I think, about a second and a half down to about half a second to you, and then I just, sent it off.
Yeah, it was a good race.
But
It was,
excellent race from both of you. I'm awfully disappointed in my finish. Woo!
Damn, I watched the body leave the chassis.
The wheel was hanging out, kind of like Pixar's Cars style there.
That was great.
Yes. Donuts ensue.
The degenerates unleash.
Absolutely correct with that one. So after that race, we can go ahead and look back at the standings. That puts Jake Stieg still up top, 9-point difference. So Jesse Claus a little bit back there. He's on 82. Johansson 10 back from him. He's not out. He's not completely out of the race yet. He's 19 points back, but that's not too far. And then I'm leading the mid pack still. You guys both caught up to me pretty significantly, I'd say. I'm 3 points up on you, Austin. Chad, you're right behind him, 6 points back. I got 9 points of an advantage over you. Old Squirrel, Zeus, Ethan, Kyle, Armed Alpha, Jer45, and Zach. Zach's only going to make that first race, it seems like. He decided he's got more money to make than sim racing, which I don't blame him. He explained the situation to me, and I give him my blessing to go do what he's doing, because it's a pretty cool setup he's got. So after we finish up Watkins Glen here, though, we have 3 races left, and this graphic is wrong because we will not be traveling to Spa and doing road cars. That has been updated. We will be at Donington Park doing the national layout there with Cupra Leon Competizione cars, front wheel drive. But we tested them on Watkins Glen after this race, and what were they? We were within 2 seconds a lap of the GT3 cars.
It was close.
I think is what it was, and they're front wheel drive, so it's definitely an interesting drive. So that should be fun.
Door to door. Yeah,
door to door.
I'm
They don't. You can bang a little bit and not just absolutely kill each other. So that should be tons of fun. And then the final, we're back in the Mazda MX-5 Cup cars at Sebring to wrap it all up. That might be a really good finish between the top 3, especially if if Johnson can claw himself back in there a little bit. We might have a 3-way going into that final round to see who comes out on top.
Sounds dirty.
It does, you're right. But yeah, again, if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe, be sure to like the video, comment if you want to join, and you guys have anything else before we wrap this puppy up?
Keep on keeping on.
Nah, thanks for having me. It was fun.
Absolutely. Are we
Let's
going to
race.
see you again, or are you handing the reins back over to someone else?
Nah, I mean, yeah, if you ever want me to jump in again, I'll absolutely do it.
All right, we'll have to see if anyone in the comments wants Chad or if they like Jake better. Let's start a bidding war with this at this point. So
Jake is a lot faster than me, so I could understand that aspect.
But your car is orange, so
You have a fair point, so...
I'm just saying.
No. The original idea was to rotate the third person through the entire series, but from everyone here at Retro Hobby, thank you for watching the Money Shift Sim series, round number 7 at Watkins Glen. We will see you on the next one.
See ya.